I'm not a dietitian. I'm a fitness nerd, and what I'm sharing today is not a step-by-step nutrition guide. It's more like fine-tuning. These are 7 small things I do that help me stay lean, preserve muscle, and support my training all year round. If you're still figuring out your basics, like how many calories or how much protein you need, let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video for that. But today's tips are for those of you who already have a working routine and want to take it one level deeper. So let's get into it. First, high protein breakfast. We've all heard it by now. Daily protein intake is key, especially if you want to build muscle, feel strong, or stay lean without overeating. Studies show that there is no significant advantage to the exact timing of protein. The so-called post-workout anabolic window doesn't really hold up. What matters is your total daily intake. That said, here is what I found. Surprisingly, and even a bit against the data, when I increased my breakfast protein from 20-25 grams up to about 40 grams, I felt a huge difference. 2 things happened. I have more energy and better focus throughout the day, even though I can't fully explain it physiologically. And I started hitting my protein goals much more easily, without feeling like I was force-feeding myself all day. Second, no more fasted training. I used to run fasted in the mornings, wake up, go out and eat after. It worked for a while, but over time I noticed something strange. I wasn't exactly losing motivation, more like I was losing the excitement to train, the mental energy, if I can put it that way. Eventually, I realized I was simply underfueled. Now I eat a little fast digesting carbs before I run. Something like a few jelly candies or a banana. That quick sugar goes straight to the bloodstream and gives me the kick I need. Next, keeping daily fat intake reasonable. The key word here is reasonable. I don't cut fats aggressively, I just keep them in check, because fats are incredibly calorie dense and they are metabolically easy to store as body fat. They don't need much transformation. So keeping my fat intake moderate helps minimize unwanted fat gain. I keep my daily fat intake around 60 to 80 grams. That said, for the purpose of losing weight, especially during short, controlled deficit phases, lowering fats even further can be a very effective tool. Given the same calorie deficit, a lower fat, higher carb approach often works better for leaning out. It supports training intensity and recovery while helping minimize fat storage. And on the other side, when I need to increase calories to build muscle, I still keep fats relatively low and raise the total intake through protein and carbs instead. This reduces the chance of gaining unwanted body fat, even in a surplus. It's not a guarantee, but it makes a noticeable difference in how clean that muscle building phase feels. Next, no demonizing food, and dessert is welcome. I have a long history of restricting dieting, keto, LCHF, intermittent fasting, all with good intentions, for performance, for health, for body composition. But the result? A disordered relationship with food. Because when you cut out entire food groups that you actually enjoy, it slowly builds a sense of deprivation. You may not feel it right away, but eventually it takes over. I've learned that restriction only works if it aligns perfectly with your natural preferences. That wasn't my case. I love variety. So now my approach is simple. I stay flexible. I prioritize whole foods, fruits, veggies, protein, but I make room for sugar and desserts too. I follow 2 personal dessert rules. First, don't eliminate, just limit. I don't need a whole chocolate bar to feel satisfied. A few bites, 10 grams, is enough. I enjoy the flavor and texture more than the quantity. And yes, this fits with my lower fat strategy too, because carbs aren't the enemy, especially if they are fueling your movement. That includes cookies, jam, honey, bread, even candy. I measure it, I enjoy it, and I move on. The second rule is a real dessert on Sunday. Sundays are special. I was born on a Sunday. It's a slow, beautiful day for me, so I treat it that way. I might have a warm croissant in the morning or a beautiful beautiful cake to share in the evening. Sharing dessert with someone you love is one of life's real pleasures. Why miss it? Next, the importance of being earnest. This tip won't be for everyone. If counting calories or tracking food causes you stress or obsessive thoughts, skip it. But for me, being earnest with myself feels better than guessing. I like knowing where I stand. Am I hitting my protein goals? Am I in a deficit or am I in tenance or a surplus? Left unchecked, I'd probably overeat. Not because I'm careless, but because I just love food. But I also love the way I feel and the way I look when I'm in shape. So I track. Counting helps me plan ahead too. If I know I have a dinner out or a holiday coming, I can create a small deficit beforehand. It's a tool. And it only works if you use it earnestly. If you are guessing or underreporting, it's not worth the effort. Even if you don't play to count long term, I highly recommend doing it for 2 or 3 weeks just to learn. Most people underestimate calories and overestimate protein, especially with things like cheese, butter, and even jam. Weigh it once, you might be surprised. Next, cook at home. This one is simple. If most of your meals come from restaurants or takeouts, you'll never have real control over your nutrition. Restaurants are in the business of making food taste unforgettable, which usually means butter, oil, and sugar in generous amounts. Even when it seems healthy, you'll never really know the quantities. I eat out occasionally, of course, but if I want consistent results, home cooking is non-negotiable. And the last, no food punishment. This has nothing to do with working off a dessert or punishing yourself with extra cardio. I'm talking about something more subtle, cutting calories on rest days. It is still common advice. Eat less when you don't train, but it's misleading. Your body needs energy not just for training, but for recovery, rebuilding muscle tissue, restoring your nervous system, and rebalancing hormones. So I aim to keep my intake pretty stable across the week. Sure, it might vary a little based on what I eat, but I don't purposely undereat just because it's a rest day. So if I had to sum it all up, here are the key takeaways you can test for yourself. A high protein breakfast can be a game changer for your energy and overall intake. Carbs before training can dramatically boost your performance. Keeping fat intake moderate makes staying lean much easier. Matching your nutrition strategy to your preferences is the only way to stay consistent long-term. Tracking and weighing your food, even short-term, gives you clarity you can't get any other way. Cooking at home gives you real control. And finally, food is fuel, not a punishment. Respecting that will protect both your body and your mindset. Let me know in the comments which of these resonate with you or what strategies you found helpful. See you in the next one.